Today's the topic of presentation is amputation. Do you have any idea about what you mean by amputation?
The removal of upper limb or lower limb.
Removal of any part of the limb, or either it is a bone or either it is a multiple bone. That is the surgical removal of the limb or a part of limb through a bone or a multiple bone is known as amputation. Amputation is basically removal of body extremity by trauma or surgery. As a surgical measure, it is used to control or disease process in affected limb, such as malignancy or gangrene. In some cases, it is actually carried out on individuals as a preventable surgery for such problems. So removal of one part of the body part enclosed by the skin and removal of the peripheral part of the limb or any other organ. It means if the patient is having a gangrene or the patient is having malignancy, and to because of that, if the patient is having pain, then our next further step is to amputate the part. So amputation refer to a surgical or traumatic removal of the terminal portion of the upper or lower extremity. All right, and translumbar amputation or half-anectomy, we call it. Uh, yeah, and actually, it is a radical surgery in which the uh, body caudal to the waist is amputated and transecting the lumbar spine. So, in history, most ancient of surgical procedure historically was stimulated by the aftermath of war, and it was a crude procedure. Limb was rapidly served from anesthetized patient, and the open stem was crushed or dipped in boiling oil to obtain hemostasis. And Hippocrates was the first to use the ligatures. Ambrose Pierre, who was a France military surgeon, introduced artery forceps. He also designs processes. All right. So the incident rate is that the age is common in 50 to 75 years of age. That might be traumatic or it can be common in age. In sex, that male are more prone to this. That is 75% of the amputation are done in males and 20 rest of 25 amputations are done in female. And basically, the indications are the common causes are uh, injury, peripheral vascular disease, that is and the less common cause are infection, malignancy, nerve injury, congenital abnormalities, and miscellaneous. All right. So, what about the trauma? Traumatic amputation is meant by it is actually a leading cause of amputation, which indicates the amputation in the younger group. All right. The only absolute indication for the primary amputation are irresponsive vascular surgery in the ischemic limb. So, you know, if we go for the peripheral vascular disease, in this the lower extremity 60 to 70% of amputations are done, and upper extremity 6% of amputations are done or arteriosclerosis or because of arteriosclerosis or thromboembolism. So most significant predictor of amputation in diabetes, peripheral neuropathy. It may be prior due to prior stroke or decreased ankle brachial blood pressure on index or vascular surgery consultation. In infection, like the patient, if the patient is having gangrene or clostridial myonecrosis, within 24 hours, bronze discoloration will be there, and sericogenous exudates will form, and musty odor will be there. Immediate radical debridement or clindamycin is to be given to the patient, and like in acute or chronic infection that is unresponsive to antibiotics and surgically debridement. Open amputation does mean if a patient is having a gangrene, a severe type of gangrene is there, then the patient will not be, able to, the blood supply will not be able to continue in that particular part, and that will lead to amputation. We have to do the amputation for that patient. In the congenital limb deficiency, the failure of the partial or complete formation of a portion of a limb. Means have you ever seen a patient whose foot or finger is not fully developed, that is called a congenital limb deficiency, in which the radial or tibial deficiencies are referred to pre-axial, and ulnar and fibular deficiencies are referred to a post-axial syndrome. In this, next one is if the patient is having any kind of tumor, the amputation is performed less frequently within the advent of advanced limb salvage techniques. And because of the burns and frostbite, if the burns are there, then delayed amputation will cause local infection. Due to local infection, delayed amputation is done. Systematic infection, myoglobin induced renal failure or death can also occur. In a frostbite typically occurs when one is trapped in extreme cold condition or extended periods. Direct tissue injury, ice crystalline ESF, ECF, ischemic injury or clot formation will be there. So what are the types of amputation? According to the terms of intervention, actually early, delayed and repeated. So in early, it is of two types, primary and secondary. In primary, during the first 24 hours of the trauma acquisition, before the development of inflammative changes in the site, primary amputation is done. And the wound can be closed by the primary sutures, primary delayed closure or secondary sutures. All right. In secondary amputation, more delayed terms, if the time passes after 24 hours, it is applied when in the beginning of the trauma there is no absolute need of limb amputation, despite the applied treatment is not effective and life-threatening conditions such as post-ligation necrosis and anaerobic infection may set on. So this can be done in these cases, that is IVD or bones are fixed. Means if the patient is if a patient came with a gangrene and it can't be cured, then if the delay is after the 24 hours. Like if the mean time is 20 within 24 hours, if amputation is done, that is known as primary amputation. But if it is being delayed or being delayed beyond 24 hours, then secondary amputation is done. Then is delayed amputation. Delayed amputation can be done in cases of prolonged healing when the body is exhausted and there is a risk of mortality because of parenchymal organ dystrophy. Like if liver cirrhosis is there, all right, and due to liver cirrhosis, the rest of or liver cancer is there, or any kind of cancer is there, and necrosis is there, or gangrene formation is there, and due to which the rest of the vital organs are also affecting. All right, so because of that, what we are going to do, either the replacement is done, otherwise the patient will be expiring. All right. So in this, before the amputation, there are little bit of preoperative preparation includes the following steps, like appropriate preoperative antibiotics should be given. A tourniquet is placed on the limb uh, prophylactically, or vascular and bone instrument are requested. A series of 45 angle chisels are obtained, or osteoplastic or reconstruction, and appropriate strength saw for cutting the bone. That is the saw. Have you seen it in the movies or in your home? And vessel ligatures can be taken. All right. So the greatest skin length possible should be maintained for the muscle coverage and the tension-free closure, and means it should be not so tight, so that the muscle closure should be there. We have to follow these things as well. So muscle is placed over the cut and end of the bones via myidesis. Myidesis means muscle structured through drills holes in the bone. All right. A long posterior flap suture anteriorly or a well balanced myoplasty is done. All right. So the nerves are transected under the tension proximal to cut end of the bones in a scar, and tension-free environment will be there. Ligation of large nerves can be performed when associated with vessels and it is present. So standard surgical principles for amputation in the child is preserve the physis, amputation through the metaphysis such as above knee or distal forearm level or diaphysis are not recommended in children because of the progressive relative shortening of the residual limb. This is the most critical in femur, but it is applicable to other long bones as well. All right. So Disarticulation completely eliminates the problem of terminal overgrowth and subsequent this revision surgeries. What all precautions we have to take? We have to avoid unnecessary dissection between the skin or subcutaneous facial or muscle plane. Though close the tension of the soft tissues techniques. In adults, periosteum should not be stripped proximal to the level of transection. In children, 0.5 centimeter removal of distal periosteum prevents terminal growth. Goals of post-operative management is control the edema, provide joint contractures, rapid rehabilitation is to be done. Then care of the stump is to be done, keep the stump clean, dry and free from infection at all times. If fitted with the prosthesis, you should remove it before going to sleep. Like if prosthesis is there, then do not sleep with that. Open that and then sleep. Inspect and now wash and inspect all the wash the stump with mild soap and warm water every night. Then dry thoroughly and apply talcum powder on them. Do not use the processes until the skin has healed. The stumps sock should be changed daily, and the inside of the sock may be cleaned with the mild soap. Complications like risk factor for complication include blood clotting disorder, diabetes, anemia, certain medications such as steroids, infection, obesity. Some, there are very types of like Symes amputation is done. Then Syme amputation after body's amputation, Boyd's amputation is done. Then Chopard amputation is done, in which the amputation of the foot by the mediasteral disarticulation. Then Lis-Frantic amputation can be done. Then Prigoff amputation is done. Okay, and transcarpal amputation is done. Forearm amputation is done. Then comes the prosthesis. In prosthesis, what happens? Prosthesis is part is a type of limb in which it is replaced of substituting a missing or a diseased part. Like if the leg is amputated, then we have to fix an artificial leg for it. What will be the classification? Classification like endoprosthesis, all right, and exoprosthesis. Endoprosthesis is implants use orthopedic surgery for this, and for the exoprosthesis, that is the loose part of the limb or external replacement for it. All right, that is known as the exoprosthesis. So, prosthesis compatible stump, like the stewart bone should be covered by a soft tissue, the skin and the scars should be mobile. It is preferable the working surface of the stump should be scar free. All right. So in amputation, what we have seen, like what are the types of amputation and what kind of amputation? I told you just that these are the types of amputations. So in this, like if you'll see in the Symes amputation, that is a disarticulation of the foot with removal of both malleoli in 0.6 centimeter proximal to the joint line. Amputation provides an end bearing stump that is mainly that mainly allows ambulation with the processes or short distances. Actually, it is an excellent amputation for the children in whom which preserves physis at the distal end of the tibia and fibula. All right. Second one is Boyd's amputation. The Boyd's amputation procedure actually provides a uh, weight-bearing surface of the heel by creating an arthrodesis between the distal tibia and the tubular of the calcaneus and talectomy. Like if you have seen the movie that is Vikings or the series Vikings, in that a person is having this Boyd syndrome due to which amputation has done, and the patient was having arthrodesis. All right, then Chopard amputation, amputation of the foot by a mid tarsal disarticulation. means the tarsal, the mid of the tarsals are, amputated and rest of is ligated. Then Lisfranc, Lisfranc amputation, the amputation of the foot between the metatarsals and the tarsals. In between that, the amputation is done. All right. Then Prigoff amputation. Prigoff amputation means amputation of the foot at the point of ankle and the part of calcaneus being left in the stump. All right. So today actually we had studied about the amputation. What are the type of what do you mean by amputation, and what will be the incident rate, and why amputation is to be done, what are its indication, all right, and what are the types, then what all are the infection which can lead to amputation. Then I told you about the congenital limb deficiency or about the tumors, burns and frostbite, all right, and then types of amputation we had seen like early, delayed or repetitive. All right, then we had discussed the pre-operative preparation of the amputated if the patient is going to be amputated, and standard surgical principle for amputation we have to follow for the child. All right, then precautions we have seen. Now goals of the post-operative management, for to control the edema or to control the post-operative pain, or prevention of joint contractures, or rapid rehabilitation is to be done. Now care of the stump. We had seen, then rehabilitation we had seen what are the complications due to which this processes can cause. Then we had seen about the Sean's amputation, Boyd's amputation, Chopard amputation, and Lisfranc amputation, Prigoff amputation. And then we have seen the forearm amputation as well. Then we had discussed about processes, what do you mean by processes, and what are its classifications. All right, and we had studied about the processes compatible stump. All right, so make sure that because it comes in the paper, and it is actually it comes like for the 5 marks, that is for a short note. ठीक है, शॉर्ट नोट आपको आ सकता है, तो इसमें प्लीज आप शॉर्ट नोट जो है वो बना के रखिएगा। ठीक है, 5 नंबर में इससे ऊपर नहीं आता है क्वेश्चन प्रोसेसिस का या फिर एम्पुटेशन का, शॉर्ट नोट में आपके पास आता है क्वेश्चन। ठीक है, अब मुझे ये बताइए, मुझे टेस्ट लेना है, मैं आपका टेस्ट कब लूँ?